Hey everybody, it's Monday, and so we're going to play D&D. Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. I am Scott, also known on the internet as Wily Hobbit. I'll be your dungeon master slash character ender. I mean, DM is what I'll be. And we're going to play D&D, Mysteries in the Dalelands. This is our 46th episode of a planned 2,000 or so.
Awesome.
Just let that breathe a minute.
You realize that means our characters have to survive that long, right?
Sure. Or you could just make more.
Make more.
Yeah. At any
Meat
rate,
grinder.
yeah, meat grinder. At any rate, let's meet. Speaking of characters, let us meet our characters. And since you spoke up, you shall be first to introduce yourself, Rance.
Hey, I'm Matthias. I play Rance, a human male rogue swashbuckler. He is a former pirate who's hooked up with the adventuring company here, and trying to find a way to get back at the Zents.
Because why not? Always a good idea to mess with the Zents. Always ends positively. All right, let's go just north of your position to Rue Shahar, Rogue 5. Two rogues.
Yeah, working it up in here. Hey everyone, my name is Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, and I play Rue Shahar, who is a changeling rogue, and he has the inquisitive, what is it called, subclass, archetype, whatever, and currently in the form of an older human man with salt and pepper beard and hair and all that.
Very nice. Last but certainly not least, Viz.
Hello. Hi, I'm Dave. Hey, Wilson on the internet. I am playing Viz. Viz is a fairy, and he is a rune knight, which is an archetype of the fighter class.
Okay, and having said that, I will be piloting our friend Ronvin this evening. Ronvin is an Azamar, but she doesn't know it. She's an artificer. She is also level 5, and her player is absent, and so I will be piloting Ronvin. So let's see. Last time we were here, our party is actually on the road between Dagger Falls and essentially Zentelkeep. They're in the northern reaches of the Dalelands, and they are looking for signs of... There have been some caravans that have been waylaid, and some people who have been harassed, and some who have gone missing, and the like, along the east-west trade road. And of course, that's not great for business in Dagger Falls, especially when some of the materials that have come up missing seem to belong to either some business in Dagger Falls, or even in this case to the Lord of the Dalelands, Daggerdale. Goodness, words. Lord Cormeril himself. And so the company of the Iron Phoenix has been dispatched to the east-west road to see if they can't accomplish a couple of things. Figure out what the heck's going on, and perhaps end it, and protect another incoming caravan that they hope to meet up with as it makes its way westward from Flan. And it is there that we find our party some, 43 miles east of Dagger Falls. They've been on the road a couple of days. They're on their second day on the road, I believe. And it is getting later in the afternoon, and they have discovered a trail that leads north away from the trade road. And the difference, there's been numerous trails that they've discovered, most of which are maybe singular tracks of game animals or some such creatures that, of course, they could be sand people who travel in single files to hide their numbers. But this particular trail appears to be newer, like it's not really cut into the grasslands and the dirt. It's more new, like grass is just kind of broken down and bent over. And so that has piqued their curiosity. And so they have ventured northward on this trail as it winds through these very low, small mounds. It's a bit rocky, grassy on the north side of the road. The south side of the road, as it approaches the Tesh River, becomes a little spongier, softer, very tall, thick, lush grasses as you get closer to the river. But up at this end, it's a little more barren, a little rockier, scrubby brushes, little groups of trees here and there, and the occasional hill, or maybe collection of hills. And it is toward a collection of hills that they are making their way as we open tonight's session. And they've stumbled across an interesting scene. It seems almost as if there have been these boulders that were placed or thrown or dropped or unearthed. Two rather large ones, probably 8-9 feet in height, one on either side of this trail, and then a few, like 4 smaller ones, 2 on either side of the trail, just kind of in random position. And as the party approached, they got maybe within 15 feet, 10 feet all at once. The boulders animated and began to approach the party in a rather menacing fashion. And it is at this point I'm going to invite our party to roll for initiative, as these 2 boulders have sprouted rather thick, short, stumpy arms. Looks like they have maybe 3 fingers and an opposable thumb. Very short, thick legs. Sort of a grim expression as they just kind of grumble and creak towards you. None too quickly, mind you, but certainly menacingly. And so, Rance, did you tell me you had a 16 for initiative? All right.
Yep, 16.
Okay, Rue, how did you do?
I'm meeting myself. I'm getting the low rolls out of the way first. So I got a
Excellent.
7.
Just you're going to come up from behind. Bring up the rear. Very nice. And Viz, the Rune Knight Fairy.
22.
22. Okay.
Okay. Biz can just kill them all. And
Be done with
have
it.
to go.
Yes. Okay. Very nice. Enoch Pratt. Cheers. Prost. Welcome. Willkommen. Good to see you, Tim. All right. So here we go. Yes. Let us all raise our tankards of coffee.
Oh, no players' tears tonight.
Viz, no players' tears. I'm going to, you may not live long enough to cry. So. All right, Viz. You have the first go as these things are advancing.
All right. So they're clearly hostile, you're saying?
They do appear to be menacing as they approach. They don't seem to be welcoming you.
They'll seem to be welcoming us.
Scott, did you roll for Ronvin?
Ronvin?
I did.
Okay.
It's going to
I
be a
sure did. It is going to be a mystery, isn't it? So what would you like to do? You're probably about 10 feet. They are approaching rather slowly.
I will stay at about 10 feet and run through my gamut of languages and just say, halt.
Okay,
What is your intention?
What languages would you be running through, my friend?
Common, Sylvan, and Giant.
Okay, very nice. They don't even react. You just hear some strange guttural grinding. It sounds like rocks grinding and clanking, crashing together as they make sounds and advance.
Okay. Then I guess would that be considered action or free action?
Speaking? Yeah.
Free action. Okay. I will just say, well, you were warned, and take out a couple of energy daggers out of my bracer of flying daggers and pitch one at each of them.
Very well. Do your best.
Well, hopefully my best would be good enough. Let's see. What do we need here? Let's find out. That's a 15 plus 8 is 23 to hit.
That will hit the first one.
Oh, that's gratifying. So that's 9 points of piercing damage. And the second one is 22 to hit.
That will also hit.
And that is a 10 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
So basically 1 to each.
Yeah, so your
And
energy daggers sort of absorb into them. You see little chips of, spark and rock. It looks like you've pierced them.
All right, I will stand ground between them and the rest of the party.
Okay. So you're on the ground,
I'm
or are you
flying
floating?
about-
Okay.
I'm floating about 6 feet off the ground
Okay.
or so.
These guys are probably about 8, maybe 9 feet tall.
Oh, big.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they've had their warning shot.
They did.
After that, stuff gets real.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. It is the first one you hit. It is its turn, and it is going to advance upon you and try to basically just open hand slam you with a meaty, well, not meaty, but stony, thick, 3-fingered palm as it kind of roars and tries to slam you.
Good luck with that.
Does a 17 hit?
Nope.
Okay. Then it is just basically there in front of you now. And it just looks like a big rock. It was completely indistinguishable as anything but a boulder until it began to animate and stand and move. It is Rance's turn. You may do your thing, pirate friend.
Okay. So Rance is still sitting next to Ronvin in the cart, riding crossbow. Since so he'll kind of rise to his feet.
Okay.
And as he does so, he will load up the crossbow and will fire off a shot at the one in front of Viz.
Okay.
I believe my crossbow is +1. That makes it magical. Don't know if that'll help.
That makes it magical. Yes, it does. How far back are you guys? Like, are you going to continue to move? I guess that's up to Ronvin,
Yeah.
but I would let you decide. I don't want to make decisions for the party necessarily.
Let's say we stop about 25 feet behind Viz.
Okay. So you're basically
Just
about
a good-
25 feet from the first one, and the other one's kind of right beside it.
I rolled 13 + 7, so 20 to hit.
20 hits. Your
And
magical crossbow
damage.
finds purchase.
8 damage. 8 piercing damage.
All right. Yeah, so your crossbow bolt takes a little chunk off of it. Sparks again fly, the metal tip on the crossbow bolt against the stone of this thing.
And that's all I'll do for now. Bonus actions don't quite have a use at the moment.
Okay. Ronvin will kind of do her. She has that lightning launcher. I believe it's from her chest, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's like this gem lights up. She activates it, and she's going to. I think she gets to do 2 attacks with that. Lightning launcher. Exciting. 13 + 6 is 19. And that does strike. And she's also going after the one that you just attacked, the one that Viz has immediately in front of him. And so this lightning bolt arcs out from this glowing gem upon her beautifully adorned armor. Let's see. D6 + 3 is 4, + 3 is 7. And then once per turn, Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra D6 lightning. So she's going to do that. 'Cause that's really cool for 5 more. And then she'll make her second attack. So pew pew. That one also hits. See, she doesn't have anything that makes a 19 a crit, does she?
No.
Owie.
She's an artificer, not a champion.
Okay. 2, 3, 5 more. Okay, so 5 more damage is another lightning bolt arcs out of her, that glowing gem, and hits this guy. That's exactly what it sounds like. The other one drops into a roll and accelerates, moving almost twice the speed of the first one. And it is going to attempt to slam through the cart. Wow, I wished I'd have thought to look up the armor class of a cart before. That would probably be in the DM's guide, wouldn't it?
Maybe not.
Armor class of inanimate objects. I have a peek here. Well, he's going to slam into the cart, and I'm thinking with that roll, it's not going to be great. Let me check something here.
So a fortified wagon apparently has an AC of 15 and 40 hit points. I don't know.
Wow, nice. Where did you find that?
RPGstackexchange.com. I just Googled it.
AC 15, 40 hit points, and it misses. I mean, it slams into the wagon. And I think since it didn't do any damage, I will not ask you to make a dex save or anything, Rance and Ronvin. But it hits the
A glancing blow.
hits the side of the wagon with a thunderous thud. And it will now be Rue's turn to act. So Rue, you had this boulder go rolling past you. It was kind of running very slowly because it's made of rock, and then it like dropped and rolled and went right by you and tried to hammer that cart that Rance and Ronvin are on. So that would probably be about 20, 25 feet behind you. I'm assuming you kind of came up with Viz, or are you back with the cart? Where would you like to be?
Well, I assume I've got my horse.
That's right. You are on horseback.
So,
Forgive me.
I'm probably pretty close in front of the cart at this point because we were kind of coming up together to investigate.
So you could really have your choice, Rue. Viz is about 25 feet ahead of you, toe to toe with one, and then this other one just rolled up on y'all, like literally rolled up on you. See what I did there? Just rolled up.
All right, so I'm going to yell to run then. Maybe get the cart out of here so they don't smash it. And then I will ride up on horseback to the one that has been hit a couple of times and try to increase the damage. Can I get to flanking?
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give yourself a +2 then, right?
That's a natural one.
Flank all you like, buddy. Flank your arse off.
Can I burn my inspiration to re-roll that?
Sure.
Let's do that.
I mean, if you're not going to use them.
Natural 3.
Excellent. Ooh. Excellent. That's how I like to play D&D.
So I'm guessing an 11's not going to hit.
You would be correct, sir. As sad as that does make me, which isn't very sad at all. And you all do have a DM disadvantage, so. And 40 +2s, which would not help you in this case. Anything else you'd like to...
Actually, with my +2, that's actually... with my flanking, it's a 13. Would a 15 hit?
I don't believe. Nope.
Okay.
16 is the AC.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it then.
All right. Back to the top. Viz, you are up. You have a boulder dude in your grill.
My grill.
Your wee little fairy grill.
I am going to do something foolish. So I'm going to exit its space and fly up. So it will get an attack of opportunity on me.
Okay. I shall take that now at if it suits you.
Yeah, I'm going to do my move first. So
Okay.
may as well get it done.
Okay, so you move. He's going to take a swingy swing. Pretty sure 13's not going to get it done.
Well, 17 didn't work, so 13 won't either.
That's kind of what I figured.
All right, so I'm going to be up about
Boot.
10 feet above this guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to hammer him with a couple more energy bolts
Pew.
from my
Nice.
bracer of daggers. Does about a 16 hit?
A 16 hits precisely.
Precisely. Okay, that's 8 points of piercing damage, magical because of the daggers. And the second one is a dirty 20. And that's 5, 8, 10 points of piercing damage.
What was the first total? I may have stepped out for a second there.
The first total was 8. And the second was 10. So it's a total of 18
52,
piercing magical damage.
Yep. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, some bits and chunks, a few cracks are forming, but it's quite it's thriving nicely. So you're going to hover about 10 feet above?
Yeah, about 10 feet above him.
Okay.
I'm hammering him with lead daggers.
Excellent.
That's it for me.
Okay.
That's it for me. Yep.
It will glance over its shoulder, and you see it. You're close enough, both of you, Rue and Viz, to see it kind of close its eyes for a second. And one of the boulders that was behind it animates and begins very slowly rolling toward the group. Yes?
That's uncalled for.
Isn't it?
It is.
In fact, not one, but two. Yeah. The guy that got closest to Viz and Rue was on the left side of this trail that you're on. The guy that rolled into the cart was on the right side, for what it's worth. So it is now, that was his action. And as a boulder, he really doesn't have much of a bonus action. So we're going to go ahead and go back to Rance. It is your turn. You are on the cart.
Right. So that guy's right next to the cart, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take out my flask of oil. I'm going to dump said flask of oil on the dude, on the rock guy. I am then going to take my tinder and light him on fire with oil.
Okay.
I forget what the rules are for that, but I think it is, what is it, D6?
I believe it's D6 for every round that he is ablaze.
Yeah. Does that count? Will that count as a full action?
That's what I'm kind of looking at, right? Funny you should mention that. I'm kind of looking at action economy. I was thinking like a bonus action to dump your oil and an action to light it. But let me just have a look-see here.
Why don't I light a crossbow bolt on fire and shoot it into him after I dump the oil, if you'll allow that. Maybe that'll look better.
How many attacks per round do you have, my friend?
think I have the ability to do two-handed combat.
Do you? And what type of crossbow are you wielding? Is it a light crossbow or a hand crossbow?
Hand crossbow.
Okay, so here's what you may do. I think it makes sense, and it seems like it would probably fit your dude. You could throw the oil flask against the stone guy and then fire with your other hand. And that would be, to my understanding, a two-handed attack.
All right.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Any other referees want to weigh in on that?
Works for me.
Okay. So then I will throw it. Do I just do a...
Roll a d20,
Dex,
add your dex.
Okay, d20 plus 3.
Is that, what is that, 2 weapon?
Yeah, so the second attack on the offhanded weapon is
16.
without proficiency with no bonus.
Okay.
All right, that's a 16.
16 will hit.
And then I will fire the arrow.
And I'm gonna give you. You can do d4 damage for the object, like bludgeoning, basically.
Sure, because
I know you're gonna throw it hard enough
open.
to shatter it. Yeah.
4 damage.
Okay, so dude number 2 takes 4 damage and is coated in a glistening sheen of lantern oil.
And now I fire a very red hot crossbow bolt into him
Okay.
and get nat 20 with plus 7, so
That'll
27.
hit.
And I will do 10 damage.
Total on a nat 20? Because a crit gives you max damage, and then you re-roll the damage die and add that to the max damage.
Max damage. So that
'Cause
would
you critted,
be,
right?
So
Was
10 plus,
Okay.
10 plus 1d6 plus 4. So,
Well, you don't get any
It's 20.
mods. Oh, yeah, you would get the plus 4. Okay, I got you. Yep. So 20 on the second one?
yep,
Okay, so 10, then 20, right?
yep. No, 20 total. Sorry.
Okay.
10, yeah, no. My max damage on my crossbow is 10 plus.
Okay. Oh, and then
So
you rolled a
only 20
6.
total.
Okay.
Yep.
I am fully with you now. Thank you for clarifying that. I was having a math situation. Wasn't pretty. Okay, so you guys hear the smashing of glass. Ronvin kind of gasps as you light this dude up right next to the cart. Wonder what the chances any oil might have splashed on the cart and ignited. That's interesting. Let's explore that, shall we? I'm going to give that 15% on the old percentile dice. Because I'm not a complete turd. Just mostly a turd. Okay, yeah, so it all splashed forward, much to your chagrin, as your relief, I should say, as you realize in mid-throw, like, shit, that could have sucked. Yeah. Yeah, so you have now lit this dude on fire. Burn it with fire. Nice round. Nice, good. Ronvin will now use her action to begin to move the cart and pull it away from the scene. And the thing is going to try to slam the cart. Just bam. Cocked die. We said that was an armor class of 15, so you feel this, and you hear the splintering of wood as this thing brings a big stony fist down upon the side of the cart. Ooh,
What
man.
side of the cart does he bring it down on?
So I'm picturing
the
you
cargo
guys.
side?
You guys rolled up, and you were kind of facing, up the trail, and this guy kind of came up the right side, and so he hit the right front corner.
Mhm.
And I don't know where you're sitting in relationship to that. He didn't hit you or anything. So he's kind of at the right front corner of the cart, and he's just bringing his arm down right on the edge of the cart, and he just did 16 damages. So he basically cracked some of that front board and split some things and splinters of wood as Ronvin, gets the horses moving and begins to wheel the cart, turns it around basically in a wide arc, and begins to head back up the trail. And I would say it'll be half movement just to get this thing aimed around, and then another 15 feet because horses go 30 if I'm not mistaken. I think horses move basically at the same pace, walking as a humane. And that brings us to its action now. He gets to go. And I think... Oh, hell, horses move 60. So she's going to get about 45 feet down the trail. So it's going to turn around and begin to lumber toward Rue, who is upon his horse. And it moves about 15 feet in your direction, Rue, behind you. I don't know whether or not you're really paying any attention to what's behind you because you're kind of engaged with what's in front of you. Do I have that correct? You're on your horse?
Yeah.
Okay. So he can't get to you this turn. He only moves 15.
Okay.
But you do hear the crackling of fire. You heard, the tinkle of glass, the thwang of Rance's crossbow string, the dull thud and of fire igniting. The thud was from the bolt striking the rock. As you hear Ronvin begin to move the horse and cart, and you hear this horrible splintering of wood as stone arm smashes down upon it, and it is your turn. You have one of these stone guys right in front of you, and that's pretty much what you're aware of at this point.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not flanking it anymore, right?
No, because your buddy has evacuated.
Yeah.
How rude.
So I guess I will start with a bonus action. Whatchamacallit? Insightful fighting. So I'm rolling insight against its deception.
Okay. And again, deception is charisma, right?
Yes.
Turns out these guys aren't terribly charismatic, but I have a 19.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Means I don't get sneak attack. Awesome. Well, I guess I'll try and attack it anyway. That is a 27 to hit.
Barely. Only by 11.
So it's 9 points of damage.
Nice. Yeah, so you chip out some more of the rock. Very good. Anything else?
That's it.
Viz, it is your go. And if you're speaking, you're muted. Okay, there you go.
Nope, I am not speaking. Let's see. What do we do? So we've got one rock that's attacking our wagon. You say how many rocks did this thing animate? Two more?
Two boulders that are just starting to roll. And in fact, I missed their turn in initiative. I apologize. They would have rolled about 15 feet and come to rest probably about 5 feet behind the one that you have been pinging.
All right. Well, let's keep at it with magical daggers. So that's a natural 16 plus 8 is 24, so that hits.
Okay, same one you've been hitting?
Yeah. I keep knocking away at that.
Yep.
That is 9 points of piercing damage, magical.
Okay.
And 18, 19 to hit.
Yep.
And that's another 10 points of
Nice.
magical
Yeah, a
piercing damage.
couple big chunks. Start to cracks again continue to form. Deepening, worsening, opening further. Chunks come off of it, but it is still up.
Okay, that ends my turn.
All right. So, Rue, you just see this thing raise a big open hand and try to swat at you and try to slam you while you're on the back of your horse. 9 and 8. 17?
Miss.
Miss. Okay. That brings us to Rance. Rance, you're about 45 feet from the closest flaming rock dude, and you're facing southwards. So you're basically facing 180 degrees the opposite direction as the combat.
I will use my dash bonus action to run towards the flaming guy. I will, before I do that, Grant is going to reach into the back of the cart, grab one of the wine bottles filled with water out. Then he's going to jump off the cart and run towards the dash towards the thing.
Okay.
And then chuck the wine bottle filled with water on the oil fire, making the fire worse, potentially.
Okay. All right, so we have a lot happening here. Simple object interaction. Those bottles are in crates.
I don't know how far back the thing is, but
It's about 4. Well, the crate you mean? I thought you meant the rock guy.
yeah.
I feel like you're going to burn an action trying to get a bottle out of one of those crates. And then you've got probably, I would say, since you're jumping down, I'll go with a quarter of your movement to jump off, assuming you're going to jump.
Okay. Yeah, I'll jump off. Yep.
All right.
And so the object interaction, then I jump off, and then I'll use my bonus action, cunning action, to dash towards him to get closer.
Okay, what's your movement? Normally?
Just
30?
normal, yeah.
So dash is 60. A quarter of that is minus 15. So that would put you right in melee with him.
So not quite that far.
Okay.
Just close enough that I'm not 45 feet away.
Okay.
And then I'll chuck the wine bottle filled with water at him, if I can.
Okay. I'm going to say you can't do two-handed attack. I mean, you're talking about trying to dig a wine bottle out of a crate, jump off a essentially moving cart, for which I would like to have an acrobatics roll, if you don't mind,
Absolutely.
to see if you come down on your feet.
18.
And then, okay, so you managed to do that. I'm going to say you can throw it at him, but you're not going to get your dex bonus.
Okay. Just straight throw.
Yeah.
Straight
You're
D20.
you're
Okay.
trying to do a lot of stuff here whilst on a moving cart, moving away from your target. It's a lot.
5.
5, unfortunately, is a miss.
All right. So the grass is wet.
The grass is wet. Yes.
All right.
Ever shall it
It was
be.
it was a good try.
And it was cinematic. Yes. It was very nice. Okay. But you did it with flair.
Yes.
I think Ronvin would probably pull the cart to a halt at this point. And I'm going to do like an animal handling check. Yeah, okay. So she pulls the cart to a halt and she will turn around. I think that's probably going to be an action to pull the cart to a halt and set the brake so that the animal does not pull the cart away. And I think she'll stay up on the cart, but that's going to be her action. So let's go with Fiery Rock Guy. So you basically, how far, you had basically 45 feet of movement how far did you want to stop
Maybe
away from him?
10. Yeah, maybe 10 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll kind of lumber towards you and try to slam you with a big stony open hand. And I'm going to roll with advantage since I've been rolling so delightfully.
Sure.
I rolled a 3 and a 9. Excellent. Does a 17 hit?
Yes. And I will. Yes, it will.
Okay. All right. So that would be 11 bludgeoning as this big, thick, stony open hand just comes down on your shoulder extra hard.
I will use Uncanny Dodge as a reaction to take half of that.
Yes. I think that you should.
So half of 11 rounded up or down.
It would be 5. Yeah, they round down. Okay. So you are now toe-to-toe with a flaming rock guy. And the eyes are just black and empty, like there's nothing present. And it is now the two
Do
boulders.
you take extra damage this turn for being on fire?
D6, you're right. Thank you. That's 2 more damage. Thank you for catching me. 36. All right. The two boulders are rolling up on Rue. And so, Rue, you got 3 of these dudes on you. The boulders are going to have to attack your horse. They cannot hit you because they're much smaller than the main dude. So, slam. That's a natty 20. That's not going to go well for your horse. And the other one is a dirty 21. Sorry about your horse, buddy. 17 damage. Your horse just went down from under you. So go ahead and roll me a dex save. Or just a dexterity check. Let's do it that way. And I'm going to give you a DC 12 in order to not take falling damage.
So natural 18.
Natural 18? Oh, I thought you said 8. Okay, so you managed to at least come down and not fall to hurt yourself or fall under your mount as this thing absolutely beats it to death from under you. And that is their turn, and it is your turn now. You have 3 of these guys all up in your face, one of whom is severely in bad shape, the one that you and Viz have been working on.
Did we skip Viz's turn?
No. Viz is at the top of the order. You were at the bottom. We just got to the bottom. You follow the boulders.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna have to insightful fighting this thing again.
Okay. Against the big one?
The one I've been working on.
Yeah.
It's a natural 17.
I have a 4.
So 24 versus 4. I could just beat you a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And then I will burn an advantage on this attack. Let's finish this thing off. That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 16, 21 points of damage.
All right, so describe for me how you dispatch this hulking rock creature.
I think Rue is coming down off of his horse and hits the ground and immediately uses his momentum to basically bounce off the ground and jump up on top of this thing and drives his short sword down into it and just splits it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you definitely have no problem with that. Finally connect and you just...
Yeah. So the other two that are coming up on me, are they within melee of me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay where I am then.
Okay. And that ends your turn.
It does.
All right, Viz, you're up. You just saw Rue make this incredibly cinematic kill, but he is not out of the woods yet. He is still on the rocks. It wasn't nearly as clever as I had it worked out in my mind.
Oh, that's. I would raise a glass to you, but I lack the ice to put that on. All right, I'm going to continue my quest to end this particular walking rock with my energy daggers. So
Okay,
here we
the big
go.
one's down, so Rue is
Oh,
battling
big
with.
one's.
Yeah, Rue just killed it, split it in two.
Oh, excellent, good stuff. Did the big one animate these two, or was it the other guy?
Oh, yeah, the other two ceased to be animated at this point because the big dude died.
Oh.
Nice.
If I noticed that, can I use my movement then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will run up on the other side of the flaming one that is in melee with Rance.
Okay. Yeah. The unanimated boulders will get double opportunity attacks at you because they're unanimated, so that gives them 2 extra opportunity attacks. Okay, good. So you, Rance, you're joined by Rue. Yes, thank you for catching that, Viz.
I was just thinking if they'd been animated by something and the thing was dead.
Yeah, I totally whiffed on that.
That's okay. That's okay. We're here for the D&D and the comedy. All right, so Viz will move closer to the one that's attacking the wagon and start hammering it with daggers. I'm going to do an action surge as well, so I'll have 4 attacks this round.
Won't that be lovely?
Yeah. And that's 16 hits, yes. Yep. Oh, nice. That's 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay, very good. Again, just chipping away at this guy.
Second attack. It's 19 to hit.
Yep.
And 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Action surge. That's a natural 20, so that's 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9, that's 14 points of piercing damage.
Total?
And another 16 is 10 points of piercing damage. That's all my attacks for the turn.
Okay, so you calculated your crit damage in there, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right.
They're just daggers. So I mean, like
Yep.
the dice damage is not that huge.
Yep. Okay, so it's still up, but it's looking pretty rough. And it is Rance's turn. Rance, you're basically about 10 feet from this dude. Oh, no. You got whomped on. You're in melee.
I don't want.
Well, you attempted to whomp on you.
Yeah, I will use my handy dandy cutlass, rapier, whatever.
Yes, nice.
I will use a luck. I have luck, and I will expend one to
Okay.
reroll that, and we will do it again. Well, that's much better. 24 to hit.
Yes, that will certainly break the armor class.
And then we will roll to damage. 8 damage.
Okay, tell me how it happens. What does it
So-
look like when you end this thing?
So as this guy's limbering up, and as after he hits Rance, Rance looks back at him and says something like, "Your face be not enough to scare me, mother. And then he takes out his sword and slashes a particularly soft looking spot for a rock.
Right.
And it goes down.
Okay. Yeah, and it just kind of falls to a thud and lays there deceased.
Smoldering.
Yeah, it's dead. And so all grows quiet as Ronvin wheels the cart back around and joins you. The heck were those, she says.
Do any of us know?
Probably not.
We do not have a lot of arcane knowledge among us.
Or nature knowledge.
I don't know. Rocks don't normally move in nature unless they've been given some other impetus.
Rance has a pretty decent knowledge of history, but that probably won't help him here.
Nah. Nope, doesn't really apply here.
Whatever they be dead. It's good enough for Rance.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you like to do at this point? You're 150 yards or so from the hills to the north.
Yeah, we were going there for a reason. I think we were thinking that it was a relatively new pathway, and we were looking to see if it was being used as a staging area for ambushes.
Yeah,
Or-
you can see where the grass is thinnest. You know, wagon tracks, boot tracks. You can see where the grass has been broken down, you know, in two areas that look like wagon wheels through tall grass. And it's been kind of bent and broken in the middle, and you can see where feet may have walked through the grass. You know, there's been some traffic through here, but it's not like a rutted, worn trail that's thoroughly worn down like a wagon rut trail would be. It looks newly broken into the landscape. And like I said, you came up about 75 yards from the road, slightly elevating, going up in elevation as it winds through these little low 8 to 10 foot high little mounds here and there, most of which are barren and rocky. Some scrub little juniper cedar trees here and there. But you can see, 150 yards or so ahead, you could see that the mounds are maybe a little taller. And Viz, you do recall again flying over this sort of this circle, if you will, of hills, of mounds, and there being a 90 foot east to west, 110 feet north to south, irregular shaped, kind of flat opening that just seems to be sheltered by these various hills.
Right. So that was a thing to investigate.
Yeah.
So I'll fly point overhead just to see if I can spot any potential ambush points if there is anyone around,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that the party remains safe. I mean, we've lost one animal. I guess we can't really do much about your horse, Rue. And the wagon has sustained a small amount of damage. I'm hoping
It's down
immovable.
16 hit points of 40. So yeah, the
Does
that front corner is bashed in and broken and split a little bit, but it'll still, it's still roadworthy.
Is Ronvin able to repair that? I think she's got many.
Oh, I would think so easily. Let me scan her tools and so forth. She's got tools. She's got like tools. She has tinker's tools. That would work. She could certainly fashion something with a roll. Do you want her to stay and fuss with that, or do you want to have her with the party?
I think she's got the mending spell.
Well, even if she doesn't, she has the ability to make her own tools if needed once a day.
Yeah, she could certainly either cast the mending cantrip or just simply mechanically, with whatever she can find. I mean, the cart is full of crates, which are made of wood, so she could easily fashion a patch, however you want her to do it. Or she could just simply use the mending cantrip.
I think if the cart's in good enough shape to move and it's not going to break down or whatever, then we should move along and until we find a quiet place to do the repairs.
Yeah, that can be something we do at when we camp for the night.
And it is late afternoon, by the way, just to remind you of the time frame of the day. So okay, so you're going to continue on up this trail with
Yes.
Viz. How far up? How high up are you going to be flying there, Mr. Rune Knight, sir?
Wherever makes sense, probably about 20 or 30 feet in the air and
Okay.
maybe 40 feet ahead.
Okay, and you can see by the nicely drawn map in Discord, the numbers indicate the elevation in feet of the peaks of these rounded hills. You kind of see the insets where it's kind of goes up steep to that, to that elevation, and where the trail I indicated where it kind of fans out a little bit. So it looks like there's been several wagons or carts have been pulled up and out of here, and you pass through as you get closer to where the trail kind of disappears between two really higher hills. You pass between a couple of hills, but Viz, from your elevation, you don't see anything waiting for you, or in any kind of ambush situation as you approach.
Yeah. Roger. All right.
Okay.
We'll keep going.
All right. So you guys going to go into the hollow created by these hills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I will.
Very good.
Rance is going to be going on foot, crossbow at the ready.
Okay. Yeah, Ronvin will stay
Or I
atop
guess
the
it's-
wagon, the cart. And then Rue, of course, now has been relegated to a footpad's life.
I will also go on foot so as not to beat a dead horse.
Yes, sir.
Here all night, folks.
Yeah, we'll be here all night. Please tip your waitresses, bartenders. Okay, so you make your way between two hills. The one on the right side is large and some 40 feet or so, 4 stories at its apex. The other one on the left is much lower, maybe only about 15 feet, but these are the biggest hills you've seen in some time. The trail empties into this grassy, flat area that, once you get in there, there's the wind, what little bit of wind there was kind of vanishes, until you get in an area that's like separated between hills, and then you can see the wind on the grass rushing through those little splits, because the hills are not solid in a ring. Rather, they're sort of arranged in a ring as if someone had placed them there or excavated them in some way. And speaking of excavation, in the southwest, there's kind of a nook inside that oddly shaped swale there. There's some loose earth, as if something may have been dug recently, or at least the ground has been disturbed there. And then on the right side, on the southeast side, up against the tallest hill, there's some more disturbed earth. And then to the northeast and to the north, again, you see places. And all of these are kind of up against the hill. They look like they've been kind of tamped down, maybe raked a bit to appear to be natural. But, whoever did it didn't do a hot job at making it look. They're very easily spotted as ground that has been tampered with or disturbed. And there's a couple of fire rings, one on the east side and one up against a west hill, which roll anybody who's kind of a survival kind of person, maybe roll me a survival. If anybody's, probably Rue is probably the most survival amongst the group.
I got a 12.
Yeah, it seems to you like those are kind of not great places for fire. You look on the east, fire is almost right in the opening between the hills, like right in the wind. It's just to the south of that. And then the other one is, the prevailing winds here, if you get anything out of the east, would blow that other fire ring right up against the hill. And you can even see where some of the grasses have been burned away. Showing you that there was probably a pretty good east wind when that particular fire ring was in use, even though the prevailing winds are typically out of the west. And you can see where there have been animals staked, or at least standing for their excrement, boot prints, crushed grass here and there that would maybe indicate there's been some camping. So this is definitely a place that's been utilized on more than one occasion in recent days and weeks.
Well, isn't this nice?
Uh, Rance kind of. So we're all in here now.
Are ya?
Yep.
I would assume so.
Rance says, "Ahoy! Look around. Disturbed Earth. Might it be buried treasure? Shall we do some digging, mateys?"
Do we have any shovels? Because
I'd be having a crowbar.
Yeah, that should be fun. I'll take that as a no.
So what?
No, I
What?
don't have a shovel.
Yeah, let's see what Ronvin has.
Mayhaps the lass Ronvin can fashion us some shovels with her magic.
She's got a hammer, piton, a couple potions, a tinderbox, tinker's tools, smith's tools. Yeah, not really a shovel.
Could she use her artificer ability to create like a set of digging tools or something?
Well, you'd have to have materials out of what those don't just come out of thin air.
You can make wooden ones from the crates.
You could certainly strip away slabs of the crate, the lids or whatever, and, make a rather rustic. She has a quarterstaff, so she could, lash one of those things to the quarterstaff. It's not going to be like a metal spade by any, stretch, but it would be better than a crowbar. Let's see how she does with that.
So she has right tool for the job, or should have it, and she can magically create one set of artisan's tools in an occupied space within 5 feet.
Where are you finding this?
It's in the artificer description.
And that
Takes
would be
an hour of uninterrupted work. They are a product of magic. Tools are non-magical. I'll post the link in our chat.
Oh, I'm looking at her character sheet.
Oh.
I'm not. Maybe it's under features.
It's a 3rd level artificer feature.
There it is.
It does take an hour.
Is a shovel an artisan's tool?
It would be a miner's tool, if anything.
Yeah, I think we'll just go with that. I'm not going to make it that hard on you. All right, so she can spend an hour plying her trade.
I'll get us a short rest, too.
Give us a short rest.
Is that what you'd like to do while she is fashioning her tool? Okay.
Sure. Can I click the short rest button?
You may click the short rest button, availing yourself any benefits the short rest might provide. Maybe let me know how you do on hit die and all that if you decide to take any of those.
I will take one.
I'm more interested in seeing my action surge get regenerated.
Artisan's tools.
I got more than enough to go back up to full health.
Let's see. What the hell is in... Okay, what's everybody doing for your long rest?
Drinking rum.
Drinking rum.
short rest, I assume you mean.
Yes.
I mean, Rear doesn't really need it. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go to one of the spaces where the earth is dug up or disturbed, and see if I can tell whether I think I'm just gonna do some investigating and see if I can tell whether I think that something's buried here or what exactly was done with this dirt.
I mean, it looks like somebody has dug there. I mean, you can't see through the dirt to see if there's something buried there, but it's there's undisturbed earth, and then there's a pile of dirt that's been smoothed out and kind of raked out, and that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Then I guess I will go sit and wait.
Okay. I'm going through all of these artisans' tools, looking for a shovel.
Technically adventuring equipment. I'm just kind of playing on maybe some DM's.
Well, it's not
advantage.
technically adventuring equipment. It literally says a set of artisans' tools.
Oh, I
And
know
so-
that she can make. Yes, I agree. I don't disagree. I'm saying that a shovel itself is adventuring equipment. It's just interesting because if we look at it that way, she's able to create a set of very complex tools, like even Smith's tools, which would include things like an anvil and hammers and stuff
Yes,
like
I'm
that. But
fully grasping all of that.
if failing that, she could do that, and then we'd have to figure out a way to find some metal for her to fashion a shovel with. Anyway, here's the deal.
Well, in the absence of anything, I try to play D&D like common sense. Does it make sense? And I think it makes sense. If she can make those other tools, I think it makes sense that she could make a shovel. So, for the love of God, she made a shovel. So let's go with that.
We have a
Even though nothing says anything about shovels.
I'm sure no one in chat's going to complain. Right, chat? Can we get a booyah?
I think
The
they've
rules are
gone.
more like guidelines anyway, right?
I think they've gone to sleep.
To quote
Let
a
they
famous
be.
pirate.
It's funny because, like, even the packs. Now I'm just curious. Nothing includes a shovel
Nope.
except a shovel.
Yep.
Isn't that funny? Very specific about that. Okay, so you have before you a shovel, a nicely crafted, magically crafted shovel, though the shovel itself is non-magical.
Though it is. Non-magic.
Rance will take off his shirt, grab the shovel, and start digging.
Are you proficient with a shovel? Just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah. Where are you digging, buddy?
I'm gonna say the mound by the 25-foot one. Yeah. So the
southwest.
Yeah, southwest.
Okay. And how are you digging? Are you just going at the thing? Or are you
Just regular pace at the area that looks disturbed.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So you begin digging. And it is not too tough to dig into this soil, this dirt. It's relatively loose. And roll me perception. What's everybody else doing while Rance is digging in the dirt?
Encouraging him.
I think Ronvin would be right there. Her curiosity of shinies and the treasure. I think she'd be right there.
You want Rance to roll perception too, or is he too busy digging to perceive anything?
You can. I mean, you're looking down at your digging.
Yeah, I'll just be standing watch, I guess.
Okay. Oh, you mean you don't want to have like everybody completely thoroughly
No.
engrossed in what's happening that no one's watching? so the Tarrasque is not going to be able to get surprise on you.
That's right. Rance rolled 12 for perception.
Okay. Yeah, you start to dig and you see your shovel kind of hits something hard, and more something hard as you uncover dirt, and you're it's like you're digging into armor, like chainmail armor.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah,
I'll
it's
yell at
it's
him.
like you hear that sound of metal of the shovel chink chink into chainmail.
So he'll go a little faster and try to uncover whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah, and
that's
you
there.
start to uncover chainmail. Oddly enough, though, it's still on a body. And it
That's what I
is
was wondering about.
face down as you begin to uncover this. But it does appear to be a human-looking corpse. The chainmail is dented. It's been stabbed through. There's blood, dried. But you've uncovered, the upper torso of a human corpse, essentially, face down.
Any tabards or markings that would indicate affiliations?
Well, it is face down, so to see something like that, you'd probably have to excavate further and roll it over, because tabards, at least the insignia, would probably be on the chest.
Probably.
Probably.
Rance will, unless Rance is told to stop, he's going to keep going. So, more digging.
Okay.
Rance maybe stops for a brief second, takes a swig of rum, grabs his sword, makes sure it's nice and double checks, make sure it's there, and says, "Okay, it's still there," and he keeps going.
Okay. Would you roll me a con save, by the way? I think it's about time to check on your condition. I'm guessing this isn't your first pull at the jug, given all the seat time you had on the wagon today.
13.
13? Okay. Yep. Yeah, I feel like you've probably reached that glow that you're so familiar with your pretty much daily drinking, that you're like, yeah, this is the state I seek to achieve when drinking rum. You're at that functional warmth, maybe a slight bit of fuzz.
So he'll keep digging until the body is exposed enough so he can roll it over.
Yeah, and you've uncovered a human warrior soldier. You roll it over. It's further stabbed and slashed, and it does bear the heraldry / livery of the Dagger Falls Constabulary. Seems you've uncovered one of the deputy constables.
Can I look through his effects to see if he's got any
All there
papers?
is a short sword that's notched that he was laying on, and a broken spear. There are no
I'll take the
effects. Yeah.
I'll take the notched short sword.
Okay. Looks like he was killed in combat. The blood is dark and crimson and dried. It's pooled on the ground a bit. The sword has quite a bit of blood on it, as does the haft of the spear. The breeches stained in blood. The shirt beneath the chain, the jerkin, leather jerkin, also blood stained, with piercings in the back and the chest. And the body, as you roll it over, is somewhat rigid. It's already begun to stiffen a bit.
So what Rance looks back. Aye, what think ye we should be doing with this fella here?
Well, as to your sensibilities, We could either leave them here and bury them all and let Zol know where his constables are at, or we take him back.
Aye. And if ye be needing any equipment, safe to say, these poor fellers ain't to be needing mares anymore.
Yeah, and you can see like the leg of another one who was tossed in here beside this one. You know, there's still some unspoiled, dug earth that you haven't yet, gotten into with your shovel. It's a pretty sizable area, but it looks like maybe you've opened up a shallow grave. Yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Should we uncover all of them, or should we assume that there's just more bodies laying here?
I think it's safe to assume there's more bodies laying here, and it's probably a lot more than we can handle.
Aye. So Rance will climb out of the pit and start filling it back in.
Okay.
And then perhaps when he's done, if nothing happens in the meantime, he'll, stop and wipe off the sweat off his brow and stand there and look around and just say, any of you be religious enough to know a few words to say?
Ronvin kind of looks at you like, yeah, not me. Kind of shrugs.
Rue just shakes his head.
This has wandered off within sight. But
You've probably been fussing with the shovel maybe 30, 40 minutes in this one section here. And, you basically, you didn't have to go in maybe 6-8 inches and you hit chainmail. It's just a shallow grave. You didn't explore enough to know how many bodies, but obviously more than one.
Yeah.
By the size, the footprint of the grave, you might assume 3 to 5. It's hard telling.
Well, Rance got a short sword out of the deal, though. The same. Should we check out the sections that have fire?
they're fire
that were
pits.
fired. The fire pits. Are they just fire pits, or were they
It
burning
looks
something?
like they're kind of campfire pits. There were no stones to form a ring. It wasn't quite that well planned out, but you could see the burnt ends of bits of wood and things. Looks like maybe it was scattered with a boot. Probably didn't even dump any water on it. And then there's 3 other areas where the earth has been dug and disturbed, much like what you just saw with where the bodies were.
Rance kind of looks at the others and say, "Aye, this probably be not the best place to camp overnight."
I agree. Let's see if we can get a couple more hours down the road.
So I suppose then, Viz agreeing, we'll head back to the main road.
Just one quick question. There wasn't any combat evidence in this area, though. No signs of blood.
It's hard telling. If you want to roll an investigation, I just gave you kind of what you could just see by being in the space. Yeah.
I'm just curious if this was the area where combat
Right.
took place, or if it took place somewhere else.
Yeah, if you want to roll investigation to give the area, I don't know, are you just going to kind of give the whole area, the 110 by 90 area, a good going over before you leave?
Yeah, he'll do an aerial scan, 10, 15 feet, just to see if there's any dark patches or anything like that. But in reality, he got distracted by a dandelion and rolled a 5.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard telling. There's boot traffic all over the place through here. The best thing you could see that of anything that stands out is there's a lot of boot traffic around the areas where the digging had been.
Right, but there's no boggy patches of like blood-soaked ground or anything like
I mean, with a 5 from 10 or 15 feet in the air, you didn't see any.
that. Yeah, like I said, dandelion. No, 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 no. All right, ready to go? Shall we return to the road?
Sure.
All right. Naranvan would have probably, imagined, spent the time that the digging was happening repairing the wagon.
Sounds good.
Just to leverage her artificer capabilities and mending spell. Viz will buzz happily down the road.
Okay.
Rue, are you going to be riding or walking?
I'll walk for now.
Yeah, I'll walk beside you.
So you're going to leave the area, head back out to the road.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't have a map of the region, do we?
Nah. You just
that's fine.
were told to head east and look for signs of any, caravans that have been sacked, any, foul play, any, ambush points, anything out of the ordinary.
I'm just trying to think of a way to mark this spot, the entrance to the spot, so that if or when Zol sends anyone to investigate
Right.
or recover the bodies or whatever, that they'll be able to find it. Anyway, off we go.
Okay. So back out to the road,
Yes, sir.
heading east. And you say you're going to go a couple of more hours.
I think until we can get a reasonable balance between loss of daylight and a place to camp.
Okay. Yeah.
That is what we shall do.
All right. So you make your way back out to the road and take a left and head further east. You've been about, I don't know if anybody's kind of tracking distance, but you've been about 43 or so miles from Dagger Falls. Give or take. You're hitting close to 50 miles a day or 25 miles a day. You're not going to quite make that now since you took about a 2-hour detour to, have combat and go up the trail and look around and dig up some bodies. And were you going to mark this in any way? You mentioned that, but you didn't really do anything with it.
Like to. Viz is not exactly the the survival wildcraft type of character, so his thought would be just sort of to toss one of the crates off on the side of the road and use that as a marker. But if someone else has a better idea, I'm open to suggestion. An intricate rune or something carved into a tree or whatever. Because I basically got nothing to really mark anything with.
Anything? Anyone?
Well, we'll just do our best to try to remember where it is.
Maybe. Yeah, no, I Rance is like,
all right, then off we go.
we know about how far we've traveled, so that gives him a general area.
Yeah.
Okay, so to the east we go.
Eastward ho.
It is, again, supper time-ish. And you begin to make your way east. It is quiet. Again, you're back on the road. You see the manner of flora and fauna that you've grown accustomed to as the shadows lengthen. And you spend a rather uneventful couple of hours heading eastward. and it's getting to where you typically pull off and look for a place to camp and get set up. So if you wish to do something along those lines.
Yep.
Yep.
You're going to try to find a spot that's somehow not visible from the road. Let me, what are you doing?
Well, our goal is to find the bandits. So we want to be visible, but not visible. To make it look like somebody would stop here, but still, if they were looking for people, they would find them.
To quote Han Solo, fly casual.
Exactly that.
I see. So you're going to pull off the road, but not seclude yourselves. It's going to look like a typical how a caravan might camp.
Yeah.
A single wagon caravan. Okay, fair enough. Very good. You're able to do that. Are you going to afford yourselves the luxury of a fire? A cooking fire, perhaps?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Because we're trying to be obviously unobvious. If that makes any obvious sense.
Very nice. Well, Ronvin will pull the horse and the cart off of the road. Maybe there's a tree or something there. Little grove of trees she can pull off. Nice. Thanks, Doc Shoulder. Very kind of you. And she will stake your draft horse and just get the cart off the road entirely. Maybe 15, 20 feet off so there's no chance of collision.
Rance gives. He wants to ask Ronvin if he gets rid of that the short sword that he picked off the body, and asks her if there's any way she could turn it into a dagger. Even if it takes time.
I think I could. Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not a weaponsmith, but I have smith's tools, and I could do some. Let me mess with it a little bit. Yeah, let me have that. She asks you for it. Kind of turns it over. It's pretty notched out here at the end, but I think if I cut this end off and maybe work on it a little bit, the only challenge is finding fire hot enough. But let me fuss with it a bit.
Okay.
Dagger, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what else is everybody doing? So you see Ronvin just kind of, she like she always does, she just gets completely absorbed, lost in her craft. If as you were, she goes and makes a different fire and tries to get it, stoking as best she can. Tries to find a hard enough stone upon which to beat metal. She doesn't travel with an anvil. I mean, who knew? I just keep one in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Rance will cook dinner for everybody.
Nice. What's on the menu?
Rance is thinking about it for a second.
Broiled mushrooms tartare.
Rum stew.
Rum stew. Mushrooms steeped in rum.
Yeah, maybe rabbit stew with carrots and mushrooms and maybe some wild parsley.
Sounds like Hassenpfeffer. Do you have any rabbits by any chance?
Maybe I have to hunt one.
Maybe you should hunt one.
Let's go hunt one.
Maybe you should wander several hundred yards away from the party in an effort to forage for dinner.
That sounds great. Let's do that.
I will go with him then.
All right. Hunting we shall go. Hi ho the dairy-o. Right?
So
Sounds good. So, what will be your manner of hunting? Describe for me how this is going to work. We got Rue and Rance off trying to shag some conies for supper. I presume Viz and Ronvin will stay. Ronvin is working rather industriously, and you can hear for quite some distance, Rue and Rance, the tank, tank, tank of her hammer upon the metal of the blade. Viz, you see her heat the end of the blade and then start to pound on it. And right where she has the blade, right at the edge of this hard rock she's found, that seems to be the bend point in the metal that she's pounding this until she pounds the blade into an L shape. And then she buries it in the hot coals, and she has this little like a small bellows, and she blows the fire hot, and she, after a while she's like, "Hey, get me some more wood. Get me some hard wood, hard dry wood. Need heat. Metal don't bend itself, She's with her little bellows, if you don't mind.
Okay. Biz will go looking for wood.
Yeah. Perception?
Perception. Yes, this will go well. Talking about the guy with the attention span of a gnat. That's actually not bad. That's an 18.
Yeah, you don't have any trouble locating some wood. Looks like it's been down a while. You can, bring it back to her, and she'll immediately, thank you, get it on the fire with the bellows to try and get that wood going, get some good coals. And this just continues on until after maybe an hour, she works the end of the sword off and then begins to hammer the ragged edge into a tip, you can kind of start to see the form of a dagger as she goes to work on this thing. Pretty impressive, really. She is proficient in the use of smith's tools. So it's very, very clear to you that she knows her way around a smithy to some extent. Rue and Rance, so take us on your little hunting journey. Tell us how that's going to work.
Well, Rance has got his crossbow handy, of course.
Yep.
And he's maybe we're off in the bushes down by the river, kind of looking around.
Yeah, I imagine we're stealthing. Is it dark yet?
It's getting there. Yeah. And you could stealth
twilight.
if you'd like. If you want to get into that, I'll take a couple stealth rolls. Try not to picture Elmer Fudd, hunting rabbits.
21.
26.
Yeah, so you guys almost lose sight of one another. You blend easily into the twilight, the grays, the shades of twilight. There's tall grass, there's some brush. Roll perception, if you would, please.
22.
6. I'm going to take a luck on that one. No, maybe not. 6. I'll just say 6. Rance didn't notice anything.
Okay. Are you guys staying close to one another?
Yeah, I imagine we're staying together. We've probably got our bows out and we're looking for some prey.
Maybe 10 feet apart or so.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hear, a little bit of movement in the brush occasionally, Rue. So it sounds like you two are not alone out there. And by that, I don't mean some giant, Tarrasque or some froghemoth or something. But, a couple of times you're moving along and you hear something scuttle away. So you're probably not far from some prey. And keep moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Should we stealth again?
Yeah, go ahead and stealth again.
27.
Yeah, again, Rue, you're like invisible and silent. What did you get, Rance? You guys kind of spoke at the same time.
7.
Yeah.
Stepped on a twig.
Yeah, kind of. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Kind of. You can, Rue, you can even hear him like scratching his chest. You know that.
This ain't like fishing.
To you, Rue, out in the silence of nature, it's like a thunderstorm is 10 feet to your right.
Yeah.
Roll perception, please, Rue. I mean, Rance, you can if you want to, but pretty sure nothing's anywhere near you, buddy.
Oh. That's a 9.
A 9, yeah. You don't see anything. You've heard a couple of sounds.
Yeah, just keep going, keep looking, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, roll perception again.
I got 10 that time.
14.
Okay. Rue, you see out of the corner of your eye, kind of off to your left, a couple of little brown forms kind of darting around. They don't seem to have noticed you. You're so quiet and so not visible. And it does appear to be a couple of decent-sized rabbits are frolicking, if you will. Maybe 15, 20 feet to your left diagonal to your 10 o'clock.
I will motion to Rance and point them out and then take a shot.
Okay.
You want me to roll an attack?
Oh, yeah?
That is only a 9 to hit.
Okay. 9 to hit. I feel like 9's not going to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scatter.
Will fire his
Go ahead. You saw him. Go ahead.
24.
That'll do it. Yeah, you skewer
And,
right through the side of one of the rabbits and it drops. Dead where it stands.
This be a great team. You see him, I slay him, and then I cook him too.
There you go.
So grab the rabbit and retrieve my bolt and make my way back.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys, and you can easily, between the fire, the two fires, and the sound of the bellows whooshing now and then, the tink, tink, tink of the hammer on the metal, the occasional spray of sparks into the darkness. It has fully gotten dark now as she's using her bellows. Viz, what are you up to during this?
Well, collecting any wood that Ronvin needs.
Yeah, you
but
easily
also,
get her a nice pile of wood going. Yeah.
Also keeping an eye on her and the site, making sure no one's sneaking up, just sort of staying
Okay.
at the site otherwise.
Yeah, roll perception.
Perception. My specialty. Let's see. What do I perceive? That's an 11.
An 11? Okay, yeah. Seems to be all clear. Are you guys stealthing back, Rance and Rue, or are you just kind of yucking it up?
Yucking it up. Rances.
Yeah, at this point, we got what we were looking for.
Okay, roll perception, guys.
11.
26.
Yeah, you see two more bunnies. You must have flushed them out of the brush ahead there, Rue. They're just kind of dead ahead on the path, maybe 10, 15 feet.
Oh, spin and fire again. Got 18 that time.
That'll do it. And you stick one of the two bunnies with your arrow easily.
Rance gets 26.
Nice.
That'll do it. Shug, dug, 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 dug. Okay, two more conies on the hook, and they're decent sized. So you've gotten yourselves a nice feast.
We'll be eating well tonight.
All right. Yeah, so you make your way back to Camp Viz. You see them and hear them coming as they approach from kind of the northeast back to camp. So they're moving southwest through the brush and trees. You're able to spot them probably 20, 30 feet away. Ronvin has stopped pounding away, and she's been using the wine bottles full of water to quench the blade. And when you get back to camp, she's got a pretty rough-looking dagger. It's going to need some time with my stone, but at least we got it shaped in. And you can see that she's,
Awesome.
She's cut it down to maybe about 18 inches from the tip of the pommel to the tip of the blade. There's probably a good 7 inches, 6 inches of pommel that it looks like she's kind of sawed some of it off, and she's having to, kind of bastardize this short sword into a dagger. But she's got it shaped in, but it's rough. It needs finishing and sharpening and polishing. But in that, I'm going to guess it probably took you guys an hour or more. She's at least got it to the length and started to work a tip on it.
She can work on that over the next day or two or whatever. So no rush on that.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're back at the campfire. You may commence making dinner.
So
Roast conies, eh?
get it. Mm-hmm. Stew. Rabbit stew.
Okay. Roll me survival.
I'm gonna burn an inspiration on this one. So that gets me +2. Oh, 20 +2. Nat 20.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So you, what all did you put in your? I know you were kind of the provisions guy, so I'm going to let you go with this. What all did you put in your rabbit stew?
So we've got rabbits, we got carrots, maybe some yummy mushrooms. Maybe I have, let's say I have a sack of just materials for soups and stuff given to me by that I purchased from what's his face.
Oliver.
Yeah, just a sack of assorted things. So grab some assorted things out of there, stick it in the pot with the rabbits.
Nice. Sounds like a lovely stew. Yeah, so and it'll it's game, so you've got to let it cook down a ways, and get tender, low and slow, a couple hours. But yeah, so you have yourselves a nice pot of rabbit stew. There's no fur, no bone. He rolled that nat 20. It's nicely seasoned. It's good. Better than you thought you'd ever get on the road. And all the while you're cooking, Ronvin continues to work on your blade. And she even tells you, she goes, I think I have some shinies. I can maybe put a nice shiny in the pommel. Set it in the pommel of this dagger. Make it nice.
I like shinies.
Might have to take that up with her as to what she has along those lines. All right, so I'm assuming everybody kind of eats their fill. Very nice. All right, anybody doing anything? Anything going on this evening as you camp?
I don't think so.
Rance will get himself nice and just a little bit above that happy spot and start singing sea shanties around the campfire.
Nice. Sea shanties. Have a sample of the sea shanties, by chance? Dare I ask?
See.
And since you've gotten yourself past the point of that sweet spot, feel free to improvise, man. It doesn't even have to be good because, you've been drinking all day.
Let me know when you're going to do that. I'll take my headphones off.
Right. I have something. something for such an occasion. Let me just give me a second.
Ronvin has let the other fire burn down, not wanting to really or needing to pound on that blade anymore. Now she's kind of down to the fine work with her whetstone. Sharpening and polishing and sharpening. And
Shaping.
So Rance starts singing a song. I'm not going to regale you all, but here are the lyrics that he starts singing. We are here to drink your beer and steal your rum at the point of a sword. Your alcohol to us will fall because we are here to drink your beer. And that's
nice.
the nice tune that he starts singing.
A drinking sea shanty. Who knew? I totally did not see that theme coming. Totally did not. So all of you are sitting around your cooking fire. Are you letting it burn down? You're going to keep it stoked? It's gotten quite late. You're guessing probably, I don't know, 10:30 in the evening.
Let's try to keep it stoked for a while. Get the attention of any bandits who might be looking for a target.
Okay. Very nice. Are you setting watch or anything? Or are you all just kind of focused in upon your mirth at the fire? I mean, Ronvin's completely engrossed in the work on the dagger that she's making for Rance.
Viz will keep up watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out until it's time for bed.
Okay. And Rance, you're just singing and swigging. I'm assuming you're probably not going to be too concerned about watching.
No, Rance will, after maybe an hour or so, Rance will stop the drinking and kind of slowly let himself sober up. Starts drinking his water so he can take a shift at night.
Okay. Roll me a con, if you would, please. In fact, make it a con saving throw.
Straight up 10.
Yeah, you're definitely a little well past your normal. It's been a long day of drinking. Maybe it was the little bit of rum for the stew, a little bit of rum for Rance, a little bit of more rum for Rance, maybe a little more rum for Rance. But right now, I would say if you were forced into combat or anything, you'd probably be working at a -2. Just given you're pretty fuzzed out. Not that would come into play by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Revenge of the Manticores.
What are we doing there for perception there, Viz and Rue?
Rue perception. That's a 9 for me.
Okay. So you're like
19.
Viz is playing with lightning bugs and sitting up in the tree trying to get a squirrel to come to him. 19, you say, Rue?
Yes.
And you guys are what, about 15, 20 feet off the road, give or take?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. Excellent. You definitely hear the sounds of hooves upon the road, clacking upon the stone. With a 19, I would say that those are not shoed hooves. You don't hear metal. The shoed horses sound different on the road than non-shoed horses. And they're coming from the west. And they are walking.
What would be the
And
significance of the horses not having shoes? Like, who
I'll,
would have non-shoed horses?
I will leave you
Oh.
to figure that out. I don't know
Okay.
that adventurers shoe their horses, do they?
I think every horse is shod. It's
No
just
idea.
better for the horse.
Is that just a standard thing? All horses wear metal shoes?
Well, they
I thought that was more of a draft, in town, night, formal, fancier, like got the good snow tires on versus people who may not take the time.
I mean, it's possible, I suppose. It's been a long time, but every horse I've ever come across in my life has been shod. So
I'll have to look into
Well,
that.
you're in civilization now.
I am, but I've also been around horses many years ago. But
Well, at any rate, let's skip that detail. You hear horses.
Okay.
And your perception was good enough that you would think maybe on the road they might be galloping, but they're walking. They're not even trotting. You can literally hear the clip clop, clip clop, clip clop of multiple, horse hoofbeats walking from the west. And if they're walking and you can hear them, they must not be far away. Again, you're about 15, 20 feet off the road. It's hard to see the road because you're sitting by fire, which is bright. And I think right there we will pause for the session.
All right.
But you definitely heard hoofbeats, and I would say multiple.
The hoofbeats come. All you hear are hoofbeats and Rance singing another sea shanty. Far across the sea, a kraken waits for me. Till my dying day, hear these words I say. A kraken ate my ship, and I will make them pay.
is your kraken named Phil?
Just hope your kraken's not showing.
That's the plumber kraken.
Norgen. Kraken named Norge. Norge man. All
with
right,
all these-
kids.
Hooves beating down. I imagine we're going to be meeting up with some centaurs, so there'll be the centaur of attention.
Oh man, you worked hard for that.
I did.
I'll give you that much. All right. So that'll bring us to the end of our session. Someone has ridden up upon you, but it strikes you as odd, Rue, that they're not riding quickly. They're seemingly walking slowly, but you can definitely tell it's multiple animals. But you're not sure. You can't really get a sense for how many.
Okay.
All right. So let's round the horn. Rance, tell us a little bit about Mateus, where we can find you.
Hey, I'm Mateus. Matt, you can find me, PR Mateus, on Twitter and on Discord and all sorts of fun places. You can also catch me on Monday with this DM guy over here on Greycast, our Greyhawk podcast. And we're going strong with that. That's so please check that out.
Yeah.
Subscribe to that.
Awesome. All right, Viz.
Hello, I'm Dave. Hey Wilson on the social medias. I play Viz, the Rune Knight fairy, here on Mondays, and it's been fun. It's been a good game.
All right. Rue, last but not least, where can we find you, man?
All right. I am Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, here on Twitch. You can also find me in Wiley's Discord, which is definitely a cool place to hang out. And that's about it right now.
All right. Well, I'm your host and dungeon master, Wiley Hobbit, also known as Scott, when I'm being a regular dude and out of my nerd mode. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Our Wednesday game seems to have hit a pause for consideration. We've had a few people need to drop out of the game, and so we're kind of trying to figure our purpose and our way forward. So more to come on that, but Wednesday is sort of a on hold situation until further notice. And I think that whole thing is going to probably transform into something different. So keep your antennae tuned to the Wily Hobbit network of D&D stuffs, and more shall be revealed. Yeah, so with that, let's see if we can find someone fun to raid, shall we?
If you're really interested, you can subscribe to the channel and subscribe to notifications for the channel and find out when we're going to be doing stuff next.
Yes, do that. Yeah, you can sub, you can follow, you can stay notified. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can just hit me at Wily Hobbit. And
Twitter.
we are going to raid. I cannot talk and type at the same time. We're going to raid Lawful Stupid RPG. And they're over there playing D&D in a game called Trapped by Hope. Gosh, that sounds rather forlorn, doesn't it? So yeah, come see us again when next we play. And thanks for hanging out tonight. Don't forget to yell
thanks,
raid.
Folks. Raid. Not the bug spray.